How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be checking out some drunk British tourists. That's right. We have a channel right here, living ironically in Europe. And the video title is literally called Drunk British Tourists. So I think this one's going to be a nice, fun one. I like doing the fun ones, the ones I can laugh. It's great to learn as well, but sometimes it's nice to break it up and just have a good laugh. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, as always, the links to the original video will be in that description section down below. So make sure you go check that out. And let's see some drunk British tourists. Now, I don't know if it's like other countries and it's the tourists are from Britain, or if it's tourists that's in Britain from other countries. I don't know. But anyways, we're going to check it out.
Imagine yourself finally going on that dream European vacation you've been planning for years. Your first stop is Amsterdam, with its architecture, a dreamland of quaint and colorful gingerbread houses. It's so lovely it hardly feels real. You go to bed excited, prepared to wake up early and begin your brand new cultural immersion. But it turns out you didn't need an alarm that next morning, as at 6 a.m. you're awakened by the banging and shouting and crashing noises from the room next door.
Oi, you Burks gonna sleep all day? Yeah, right, fucking kids. It's time for our blotto brekkie. And which of you assholes hit me fucking face? Get the fuck up, you sorry sods, before I fuck you all away.
Maybe you thought they were a myth. Maybe you'd never heard of them. But no, you have officially encountered them in the wild. The horde of drunken British tourists in their natural habitat.
So the first one I said, it's other countries where the British people come over. Yeah, so I love the British people. So no offense here, but you guys can get crazy when you get drunk sometimes. It's entertaining though, for sure. Especially at your guys's I'll just say football. It's soccer to us, but like at your football tournaments, football matches, it's great.
British tourists. If you've ever been anywhere in Europe, you've most likely encountered them. Most likely in a negative context rather than a positive, but that is just a fact of life. Although many have seen them, very few know about them. And that's why I, as a professor of Balkan internet retardation and a minor in Hungarian revisionism, am here to enlighten you in the species known as Homo ebrius britannicus. Who are they? Why are they so notorious? What will become of them in an ever more uncertain world? Well, watch this video to find out.
This is going to be a funny
Every
video.
country has their stereotypes they cannot live down while traveling, and every country out there produces jerk tourists. The French have the snobs who refuse to speak any language but their own. Americans have the loud and confused and near starved to death by having to wait until 8 p.m. for
that guy, man, Nikocado Avocado, he is something else, I'll tell you what.
dinner. Wasps. German have theirs who insist on waking up at 3 a.m. to drape a towel over a beach chair, to reserve it and only return 12 hours later. Canada has Canadians who won't shut up about how they're not American. Meanwhile, other Northern European countries can produce some tourists who come close to their notoriety. Yet, none have built the reputation of the fabled, the dreaded, the whispered about in hushed tones, lest you accidentally summon them drunk British tourists. Many, definitely not all, but many young British tourists, especially the males, have a certain reputation preceding them when it comes to their, let's say, travel aesthetic. Now, we all know it's not fair to generalize an entire group of people based on the actions of few, however...
Exactly. So let's just all go into this knowing it's all fun and games. We're not poking fun at any... I mean, we kind of are, but it's in a good comical way, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Nothing negative, just pure comedy.
This is the Balkans. The majority of British tourists are lovely and well behaved, and are a great choice to meet if you're looking to actually socialize with other people on your vacation, as they're usually very friendly and full of good humor and clever banter. And meeting them is more likely to enhance your vacation experience rather than dampen it. However, It's just that the ones who are troublemakers are so, let's just say memorable that when you tell the average hospitality worker in, say, the Spanish or Greek coast, in Amsterdam or Budapest, in Bali or Phnom Penh, that a group of young male British tourists are coming to their restaurant or for an extended stay in their hotel, more often than not, their face will change to an expression of utter dread and horror. The drunk British tourists can almost never be found alone, but rather in groups. A gathering of Homo ebrius Britannicus is known in the scientific world as a stag party. Your typical stag parties are loud, and the individuals that make up one are drunk to the point of blacking out nightly. They knock things over either on purpose or accident.
Trailer Park Boys. That is an awesome TV show. That's Mr. Leahy right there with the drink. But if you haven't seen Trailer Park Boys, go check it out. It's awesome. It's a Canadian TV show about Canadian rednecks that live in this trailer park. It's great.
Things such as chairs or tables, sometimes things more breakable such as glasses or plates, or their enemies, or their friends. They really don't discriminate. They're less interested in a 1,000-year-old cathedral than they are in a 2-for-1 watered-down cocktail deal in the Irish pub right next to it. And no, they don't even care about the local pubs. They will still, 9 times out of 10, hang out at the same Irish pub franchise they're used to abusing their livers in their sorry excuse for an island, despite traveling over 1,000 kilometers. They woo a lot, they scream, sometimes in agony, sometimes in delight, often for no reason at all. You really can't know. They swear, with their accents and words becoming more and more imaginative and indecipherable as the night goes on.
So, tell me this, guys. Who's more annoying? The drunk British tourists or the drunk American tourists? Right? Which one gets crazier? Maybe the British people. They're energetic when they drink, I'll tell you what. Again, out of fun. We're not poking fun. We're having fun.
And most importantly of all, they make up vulgar chants to scream down the streets of Eastern Europe at 2 in the morning.
We want we do, we want we do.
They strip all the way down to their special sequined undies, they jump or shove each other off balconies, sometimes they fight amongst themselves or strangers, and break glasses over each other's heads.
Jeez.
They pee on public monuments and or street corners, hell, sometimes churches and synagogues. They vomit, often next to the trash can or toilet rather than in it. Then they stumble home like zombies covered in mysterious stains at 5 in the morning, often crawling into an already occupied and or wrong bed if they're staying at a hostel, have a power blackout, and then almost immediately begin the process a few hours later after replenishing their chakras with a full English breakfast, ideally with a breakfast beer as well. Now, by this point you might be asking yourself, where does this behavior stem from? The world's leading public intoxication scientists theorize it may have to do with the paradise that is the Northern European climate, with sunshine being rare and instead the atmosphere having a normal amount of sunshine and rainbows. It resembles more a grey puckered butthole in the sky, ready to burst open and coat the already damp land with uninspiring, dreary drizzles of cold and clammy depression. So
He said the drunk, puckered buttholes in the sky. Oh, my goodness.
upon boarding their 10-pound flight to Ibiza, something fundamental and primal changes inside of these tourists. They're going somewhere with their best mates with warmth and sunshine, and joy and seasoned food, and hot co-ed singles and cheap alcohol. But this escape to heavenly paradise is only for a limited amount of time. And so, not 1 minute is to be wasted.
Wow, that is a crowded beach. How could you have fun on that beach? Like, what exactly can you do? You just standing there, elbow to elbow in the sand? Doing what? Just drinking and standing there? I don't know.
Paradise is only for a limited amount of time. And so, not 1 minute is to be wasted, and thus this plague of party locusts descends on southern Spain or wherever in Europe was unlucky enough to run a successful tourism campaign that year. Ready to party hard with purpose and vengeance. Now, before coming into my comments to break a glass over my head and put a cigarette out on my hand with your angry words and call my opinion irrelevant because I had the misfortune of being born in a shittier country, hear me out. Many prime tourism destinations have seen a dip in the more desirable tourists, aka families and older vacationers, in favor of these drunk narco party tourists, much to the locals' distress. As the Cultural Association of the Greek island of Kavos stated, under the influence of alcohol, tourists fight with each other, as well as with anyone who happens to pass by, cause damage to shops, rooms of hotels, cars and buses, strip and perform indecent acts in public that offend our public image, intelligence and dignity, and claims that it has the right to refuse narco-tourism. Some of the Greek islands are putting caps on British tour packages and introducing more strict fines to tourists who misbehave, as well as the possibility of getting offenders permanently blacklisted from the country.
So don't be obnoxious, guys. If you're going somewhere else, the way I always see it, you just try to blend in with what everybody else is doing. And if nobody else is getting drunk and carrying on, then don't do it. You're going to stand out and they're going to probably be annoyed by you, right? I don't think this is just, I think this applies to everybody, not necessarily drunk British tourists, but there's drunk American tourists. There's, all sorts of them.
Ibiza in Spain is also desperate to curtail such shenanigans, which often begins on the London Luton Airport to Ibiza direct flight, considered by many law officials to be the rowdiest and most lawless flight on the planet. With such regular debauchery as passengers often consuming some very naughty substances so hard and then act out, that the flight has to be rerouted to a different country altogether. Heckled flight attendants regularly being offered lines of Colombian happy powder done off the sea trays, dozens of passengers thrown impromptu raves throughout the entire flight time of 3 hours, and passengers choosing to relieve themselves in the sink rather than the toilet. Ibiza as well as Mallorca are actually mulling out an outright ban on badly behaved tourists, and they already include massive fines of up to £50,000 for balconing or jumping off a hotel's balcony, a treasured drunk British tourist pastime. There have also been crackdowns on happy hours, 2-for-1s, and all-you-can-drink specials. Under these proposed new laws, tourists behaving badly can be sent home and banned from returning. These new laws were actually inspired by Amsterdam's famous Stay Away campaign, which is targeted at British men from 18 to 35, with short 30-second commercials warning of potential legal consequences for badly behaved tourists that would come up when someone would search for Stag Night Amsterdam. Amsterdam's campaign seems to have worked, as flights dropped 20% from the UK. But what will happen to these hordes of drunken British tourists when they are made to feel unwelcome in their previous fucking rounds? Will they dwindle and become a dying breed before eventual extinction? Will they burn out and collapse in on themselves like a neutron star? Only time will tell. But until then, perhaps you can show them a bit of solidarity. Perhaps by smashing a glass on some stranger's forehead, or leaping off your balcony at 3 in the morning while screaming ancient Scottish curses into the darkness. Or maybe next time you're in Malaga and you see a tourist puking in a mailbox, you can give them a gentle pat on the back and whisper in the ear, "Heroes may live forever, but legends will never die." Anyways, what was the point of this video? I don't know, I thought it was funny and I want to share it with you. Anyways, what's your experience with British tourists? Have you ever had to deal with them at the pub? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you all for watching. If you wish to support me, become a member like these wonderful people, or go and check out theIronicShop.com where you can buy my shirts and or board game. My name is Janos and you watched Living Ironically in Europe.
Yeah, that was definitely a fun video. I wonder what the comments are talking about here. Let's check some comments here. It says, as a German, I would like to thank British tourists for making us look less bad. As a crow, I can relate to this video. No summer passes by without articles in newspapers about Brits being Brits on the coast. Oh, as a Brit, if you think this is bad, don't come to England. It's worse. And the worst part is I have to live with it. Pray for me, boys. Oh man, that's great. Well, another fun video, guys. Like I said, the links to the original videos in the description section down below. You guys hit like, hit subscribe, and have a super fun, awesome day. All right, take care, bye.